I signed the contract at 11:47 p.m. $18 million. Cash. The entire building. The same building where a man spit in my face 7 years earlier because I looked too poor to belong there. And as I watched him sign the eviction notice that would end his career, I felt nothing. Not victory, not relief, just silence. Let me take you back. I was 26, hungry, working 16-hour days building an AI startup from a studio apartment that smelled like instant ramen and regret. I had $200 in my bank account and a pitch deck everyone said would change the world. I believed them. I had to. One night, after 3 days without sleep, I walked into the lobby of the Azure Residences on Fifth Avenue. Not because I lived there, because their lobby had free Wi-Fi, leather chairs, and for 30 quiet minutes, I could pretend I'd already made it. I'd done this before, dozens of times. The night security usually ignored me. But that night, someone new was working the door. His name was Gerald, mid-50s, cold eyes. He looked at me the way you'd look at a stain on expensive fabric. "Excuse me? Resident?" I smiled, tired, honest. "No, just using the Wi-Fi for a quick call. I'll be out, now." I didn't argue. I stood, packed my laptop, and as I passed him, he leaned in close enough that I could smell coffee on his breath, and he whispered, "People like you don't belong here." Then he spat. Not on the ground, on me, my shirt, my chest, in front of a couple walking through the lobby in evening wear. They laughed. I left. I didn't report it, didn't post about it. I went home, threw the shirt away, and made myself a promise in the mirror at 2 a.m. with shaking hands. One day I will own that building. Fast forward. My company, Neuroforge, just got acquired by a consortium for $3.2 billion. I'm 33. I'm on magazine covers. I'm called a visionary. People who wouldn't return my emails now beg for meetings. And I remember Gerald. So I make a call. Quiet, discreet. I want to know who owns the Azure Residences. Turns out it's a private equity firm bleeding cash, desperate to offload assets. Perfect. I buy it. All of it. 18 million. The entire building. 24 luxury units. And I don't announce it. I don't make it public. I just take ownership. Quietly. Then I visit. I walk into that same lobby 7 years later. Different clothes, different posture, different life. Gerald is still there. He doesn't recognize me at first. Why would he? The man he spit on wore a hoodie and borrowed confidence. The man standing in front of him now wears Tom Ford and owns the marble he's standing on. I smile. "Hello, Gerald." He squints, confused. Then I see it, the flicker, the memory. His face goes pale. "Mr. Chen, you don't belong here," I say, calm, even, exactly how he said it to me. I hand him the eviction notice, signed by me, effective immediately. "You're done." He tries to speak. His mouth opens. Nothing. I watch him fold right there in the same lobby, the same floor where he humiliated me. And I wait for the satisfaction to hit. It doesn't. I leave. I go back to my penthouse across town. I pour a drink I don't finish, and I sit in silence, replaying that moment over and over, waiting to feel whole. But something felt wrong. 2 weeks later, I get a call from my property manager. There's an issue with one of the Azure tenants, an elderly woman, Unit 12C. She's behind on rent, has been for months. Eviction proceedings started under the old ownership. I tell him to freeze it. I'll handle it personally. I visit her. Her name is Marianne, 78, soft voice, trembling hands. She offers me tea in a cramped apartment filled with photographs of children and grandchildren who don't visit anymore. She tells me she's been living there for 40 years, raised 2 sons in that apartment, buried a husband. The building was rent-controlled once, then it wasn't. Then the new landlords started raising rates. Then they started pushing people out. There was one man, she says quietly, staring into her cup. The doorman, Gerald. I freeze. He'd come to the doorman, Gerald. I freeze. He'd warn us when inspectors were coming. He'd tell us which tenants were being targeted. He even paid some of our late fees out of his own pocket so we wouldn't get flagged. Her eyes missed. He lost his job for it. The old owners found out. No. Wait, Gerald was fired? 2 months ago, they said he was insubordinate, but we all knew. He cared too much. He saw what they were doing and couldn't stay quiet. My throat tightens. Do you remember a night, maybe 7 years ago, when he kicked someone out of the lobby? She nods slowly. He did that sometimes, but only to protect us. Protect you? The old landlord had people, scouts. They'd send someone in, dressed down, trying to blend in. If they saw anyone letting non-residents linger, they'd use it as evidence we weren't maintaining standards. They'd raise rents, force people out. She looks at me. Gerald spotted them every time. He'd remove them before they could report back. The air leaves my lungs. If stories like this pull you in, you'll want to be here for what comes next. I sit in my car outside the Azure for an hour. Everything I thought I knew inverts. The man who spit on me wasn't cruel. He was desperate. He was protecting the people inside from a system designed to erase them. And I punished him for it. I find Gerald 3 days later. He's working security at a warehouse in Queens. Night shift, minimum wage. He sees me walk in, and his whole body tenses. He thinks I'm there to finish the job, to humiliate him again. I sit down across from him in the break room. I need to tell you something. I start. He doesn't speak. I bought that building to destroy you because of what you did to me 7 years ago. I thought you were a bigot. I thought you hated me because I was poor. His face doesn't change. But I was wrong. You were trying to protect people. And I got you fired. I took everything from you because I didn't understand. He's quiet for a long time, and he speaks. His voice is rough, tired. I remember you. I know. I didn't hate you. I was scared. If they saw you there, if they reported me, I'd lose my job. And if I lost my job, those people upstairs, they'd lose their home. I know. I know that now. He leans back, stares at the ceiling. You got your revenge, Mr. Chen. You won. No, I say. I didn't. I slide an envelope across the table. Inside, a key, a contract, and a check. 12C, Marianne's apartment. It's yours now, rent-free, for life. The building's being converted into affordable housing. No more predatory leases, no more displacement. And I'm hiring you back, not as a doorman, but as a resident advocate. 6 figures, full benefits. Your job is to protect people the way you always did. He stares at the envelope like it's a bomb. Why? Because I was blind, and you paid for it, and I can't undo that, but I can do this. He doesn't take it right away. He just looks at me, and I see something in his eyes I didn't expect. Forgiveness. Not for me, for himself. He takes the envelope. We don't shake hands. We don't hug. We just sit there. 2 men who saw each other as enemies, realizing we were both just trying to survive different wars. I leave the warehouse at 3 a.m. The city is quiet. The same city that chewed me up and spit me out. The same city that made me rich. The same city that taught me the cruelest lesson. Revenge doesn't heal you. It just gives your pain a new address. Gerald starts his new job next week. Marianne staying in her apartment. The Azure residences will never displace another family. And me? I still think about that night. The spit, the shame, the anger. But now I think about what I almost missed. The truth hiding behind my trauma. The man I almost destroyed because I couldn't see past my own wound. Some victories aren't worth winning, and some battles were never yours to fight. These stories don't end here.
Subscribe if you want to keep exploring stories like this.